Ready to find out what will happen on General Hospital the week of March 9 through 13? Then read on, because we've got all the details on Sunny and Gio's confab, Valentin's big decision, and a conversation between Jason and Carly that could test their long-standing friendship. General Hospital spoilers week of March 9. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, March 9. Fresh from having made love with Valentin, Carly winds up having a serious discussion with Jason. Can he make her realize just how big a mistake she's making? Brennan makes it clear that someone is in danger. Maxie does what she tends to do, say too much. Sidwell makes it clear to Willow that she'll be doing exactly what he tells her to do. Charlotte's ear is in the right place at the right time, but what does she overhear? General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, March 10. Jason and Britt hope that by putting their heads together they can accomplish a goal. Someone is about to corner Nina. What has Marco panicking? Alexis is pushed to the point of trying to make a plea. Michael and Jacinda probably won't be thrilled when Christina manages to interrupt them. General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, March 11. How much closer will Dante and Elizabeth get when they find themselves standing on common ground? Alexis goes to Sunny with a few tough questions. Meanwhile, Justine does her best to play it cool. Cody is determined to have his way. Lulu is glad to have Tracy as someone she can confide in. Sure, she was in a coma for months, but Maxie is back and feisty as ever. Someone will definitely find that out when she demands answers. Lulu needs advice, so she turns to Carly? Well, okay, that's a choice. Britt tells someone she's grateful for what they've done. What's on the table that has Valentin considering his options? Dante and Cody find time to catch up. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, March 13. Dante and Elizabeth are together again, this time when he comes bearing news. Portia is in for a shock, and the secret Jordan's trying to keep under wraps might not be safe. Gio once again turns to Sunny when he needs to have a heart-to-heart chat. Nathan West, handsome, a man of the law. He seemed, on the surface, like a perfect match for Lulu. He was steady where she was impulsive. He was calm where she was a storm. To Lulu, Nathan represented something she desperately craved: stability. After years of turmoil with Dante, after the pain of her past, Nathan was a safe harbor. And in the beginning, who could blame her for seeking that? We all want our friends to find happiness, don't we? We want them to find that person who looks at them like they're the only one in the room. But for Maxie, watching from the sidelines, that smile on Lulu's face was hiding a ticking bomb. Because Maxie knew something that Lulu, blinded by new love, refused to see. Maxie knew the family Nathan came from. She knew the secrets, and more importantly, she knew that a man cannot be separated from his blood. This is the part of the story that will resonate with anyone who has ever truly loved a friend. Maxie was trapped. She was trapped in what we might call the friend zone trap, but not the kind you're thinking of. This was the trap of loving someone so much that you're terrified of losing them by telling them the truth. Every time she saw Lulu and Nathan together, she felt a knot in her stomach. She saw the sweetness, yes, but she also saw the potential for a devastating explosion. She would lie awake at night, wrestling with the questions we all ask ourselves. Do I stay quiet and let my friend make a mistake, or do I speak up and risk being labeled the jealous, bitter friend who can't stand to see them happy? For a while, the fear of losing Lulu's friendship won. Maxie smiled, she nodded, she pretended to be happy. But as we know, a truth buried alive always grows. It festers, and eventually it becomes so big that it can no longer be contained. The moment of truth was coming, and it was going to be ugly. But sometimes the most beautiful thing you can do for someone is get ugly on their behalf. And then it happened, the scene we've been building to. Lulu, probably expecting a cozy chat about wedding flowers or a new job at Crimson, walked into that room. She didn't know she was walking into a storm. Maxie, from the clip or reenactment, Lulu, we need to talk, and I mean really talk. No more pretending. Lulu, Maxie, what's wrong? You look so serious. Maxie, "It's Nathan. I can't watch you do this anymore. I can't watch you walk into a disaster with a smile on your face." And just like that, the bomb dropped. Maxie didn't soften the blow. She didn't sugarcoat it. She laid it all out on the table. She told Lulu exactly what she thought about her friend, her sister, dating Nathan West. She reminded Lulu of the family he came from, the lies, the deceptions, the cold, calculating nature that ran in the West bloodline. "Maxie, you think he's different? You think love can erase who his mother is, who his family is? Lulu, he will break your heart, not because he's evil, but because he is a product of his environment, and eventually that environment will swallow you both whole." It was brutal. It was the kind of tough love that can end a friendship forever. Lulu, of course, was hurt. She was furious. She accused Maxie of jealousy, of not wanting her to be happy. She saw Maxie's words not as protection, but as poison. But here's the inspirational part. Maxie stood her ground. She didn't flinch. She let Lulu's anger wash over her because she knew that a fireproof friendship could survive the heat. She knew that if their bond was real, it would bend, but it would not break. And in that moment, Maxie taught us all a lesson. Love is not always saying yes. Sometimes love is saying no when yes would be so much easier. While Maxie was fighting to save Lulu's heart, another woman in Port Charles was fighting a very different kind of battle, a battle for her soul and for the truth. That woman was Britt Westbourne. Now, Britt, as we know, was not always a heroine. She was once the formidable, scheming daughter of Dr. Liesel Obrecht, a woman who could give as good as she got. But Britt had changed. Love and the prospect of a life cut short had refined her. And her moment of truth came not with a friend, but with an enemy turned ally, Jason Morgan, the man who only understands the world in terms of mission and threat, the man who was laser-focused on one enemy, while a much more dangerous predator lurked in the shadows. The transition from Maxie's fiery confrontation to Britt's cool, calculated warning is seamless. Both women were fighting for the men they loved, Maxie for Lulu's future, and Britt for a man she may have loved, and for the safety of a town she had finally come to call home. Jason walked into that room with a singular focus. He was hunting one man, one threat. He had his sights set, his finger on the trigger. He was so sure he knew who the enemy was. And then Britt Westbourne stopped him cold. "Britt, you're looking in the wrong direction, Jason. The man you're after, he's a pawn, a distraction. You're so busy fighting the soldier that you don't see the general commanding the army." Can you imagine the chill that must have gone down Jason's spine? Jason, who prides himself on seeing the whole board, on being 3 steps ahead, was being told by a woman he once considered an adversary that he was blind. Britt, with nothing left to lose and everything to gain by clearing her conscience, informed Jason exactly who the real enemy was. And the name she gave him? Sidwell. The shadowy figure operating in the corners, pulling strings, making deals. The man who had been systematically building a web to trap Sunny, and by extension, everyone Jason loves. The real enemy isn't the man with the gun, Sidwell. He sits in a corner office, pulling strings, watching the pieces fall. He's been playing you from the start. He's the one you can't see. He's the one who will destroy everything you love, not with a bullet, but with a pen. She didn't just give him a name, she gave him a paradigm shift. She forced him to look beyond the obvious threat and see the web of manipulation that had been spun specifically to trap him. Britt's words were a gift. It was the gift of sight, and in the world of Port Charles, sight is the only thing that keeps you alive. Look at the two of them, Maxie Jones and Britt Westbourne. 20 years ago, could anyone have predicted that these two women would become the moral compasses of Port Charles? Maxie, the girl who once sold a story for a paycheck, risking her dearest friendship for the sake of honesty. Britt, the villain's daughter, using her final days to redirect a hitman toward the truth. This is the beautiful, surprising irony of life. Wisdom often comes from the most unexpected sources. It comes from the people who have made mistakes, who have stumbled, who have fallen and gotten back up. It comes from the Maxis who know what it's like to lose a friend, and the Brits who know what it's like to lose themselves. Their actions that day were a testament to growth. They showed us that it's never too late to become the person you were meant to be. It's never too late to use your voice for good. Maxi's harsh words and Brit's cold warning were in fact two of the most loving acts Port Charles has ever seen. So, where does this leave us? Lulu stormed out, her heart shattered by her best friend. Did Maxi's words plant a seed of doubt, or did they push Lulu irrevocably into Nathan's arms? We know that in the coming days, Lulu will seek advice from someone surprising. She turns to Carly, of all people, for counsel on this very mess. And Maxi, true to form, won't stay quiet. She'll be demanding answers, and someone is going to find out just how feisty she can be. And Jason, armed with this new information about Sidwell, the hunt...